Today I'm talking about 3 Christina Ricci films, and the names of those 3 movies are Buffalo 66, Monster, and Cursed. First up is Buffalo 66. This is a film that is so interesting. It's something else, man. Okay, so the basic premise is it's about this guy who just got released from prison for a crime that he didn't commit, and he has to go home to see his family, but he told them that he has a wife, even though he doesn't. And, you know, he does the logical thing, which is violently kidnapping a 17-year-old and forcing her to pretend to be his wife. Honestly, I loved this movie. It's really, really good. It's so f***ed up. Like, it's clearly just the writer, director, star of the movie. It's just about himself. It's clearly just about himself. There is nothing else in this movie than just him and himself. Like, there aren't any other characters. There's just the main person. Everyone else just is there to serve a purpose. I'll get more into that in a second. What's also so crazy about this film is that the main character hates women. He's not even a little bit subtle about it. Like, the scene where he kidnaps Christina Ricci's character, like, there's no reason for him to do the kidnapping. Like, she is interested in him. She's very intrigued by him. She's just a curious teenager. If he would have used any bit of charm or suaveness, he easily could have convinced her to play along with this. But no, he decided to violently, forcefully kidnap her and make her do this thing. Like, and then, like, on top of that, the women aren't characters, especially Christina Ricci. The whole point and purpose of her character, it's not to be like the romantic interest of the movie, which the end of the movie makes you think that was the point of it, but it's not. The movie's wrong. Her whole existence within the movie is just to serve as a fantasy for what the main character wished his mother was. Christina Ricci's character is caring. She's complimentative. She compliments his looks all the time. She compliments his personality, like how nice and charming he is, which he's not nice and not charming. So yeah, no. She's definitely acting as a mom. She literally cradles him more than once. She tries to come on to him a lot because part of what the writer wanted was to have this beautiful woman be into him, but he's not into her. I don't know what his intention with that is, but like, it's very clear to me that the main character is closeted and is in denial about that and really truly hates himself for that, because there's a scene early on where the first 5 minutes are brilliant. It's such good filmmaking. As he gets released from prison, he needs to pee, but he doesn't get an opportunity to pee, so it's just him in a search of a place to be able to pee. When he finally gets to a urinal, there is this very flamboyant man just who can't stop staring at his penis. His excuse is that it's so big, I've never seen anything so big. So my guess is that the intention of that scene, from the point of view of the author, the authorial intent, is that it's meant to just let the audience know that the writer slash director slash main actor of the film has a big dick. He wants the world to know that he has a big dick without explicitly showing us he has a big dick. Because, like, if a gay guy who's huge says that he has a big dick, he probably has a big dick. But yeah, no, I don't interpret the scene as him just wanting the world to know that he has a big dick. I would interpret that scene as, oh, he's gay. He reacts very violently and negatively towards this flamboyant man because he's insecure in his own sexuality. But yeah, no, it's a really great film. I'm not done talking about it yet though, because the main man behind this film is just an awful person. Like, even while making the movie, 2 main women in the movie were like, yeah, no, we had an awful experience making it because of him. He did some real shady shit. And like, even to this day, he's just a terrible person. Like, he's super Trump and whatnot. And it's just like, yeah, no, you're a piece of shit. And normally that real life stuff would negatively affect my opinion of this movie, but it didn't here, because watching this film, it feels like such a great raw 90s independent film, up there with all of the greats. This should have been a launching board to like a huge career, but it wasn't, because he was a terrible person. Like, this dude should have gone places. He should have made more amazing films, but he didn't, because he's just a piece of shit. He does have a number of things on his IMDb, but he hasn't done shit. And so, like, I'm fine giving this film praise, even though he is a terrible person, because he had a terrible career after this film, and it's his own fault for that. So Yes, I loved this movie. Like, the cinematography is so good. I love just the look and feel of it. Like, the filmmaking in general is great, but like also like the harsh lighting works really, really well. There's a graininess to this, like a raw, not quite amateurish look to it, but like it looks really, really good and just works for like the whole vibe of the film. So yeah, no, this is a great film. Cautiously recommended though, because the main character is terrible. And I can understand if you don't want to watch this because you don't want to support a terrible person. That definitely makes sense, but he has had a terrible career, so I think it's fine. So yes, really good film, would recommend. Next up is... This is a 2004 film starring Christina Ricci and Charlize Theron, and it is based on a true story. Though I would say don't look up what that true story is because that kind of spoils where the movie goes. The basic premise is Charlize plays this homeless prostitute who just wants to find someone who would love and appreciate her for who she is. Well, one day she stumbles across lonely lesbian Christina Ricci, and maybe they form a bond, and it's really adorable. But like, you know, they both have their own problems and issues, so things a little rough and maybe things go in a little crazy kind of way, but realistic. And yeah, no, it's great. Charlize gives a great performance. She's very lovable and like we're rooting for her, but she's also her own worst enemy at times. I really loved how she's always scheming. She always has a plan. Even if she doesn't always like act on those plans, she's just like, her gears are always turning. She may have run out of luck, but she's got something up her sleeve, or so she says. Christina Ricci does great in this. I was able to really relate to her, especially just like it felt like her character has this overabundance of love within her, but because of being gay in olden times wasn't the easiest thing to do, so she has to keep all of her love that she wants to share with the world inside of her, and that hurts her. But then finally finding that person to like let loose and just like that release feeling so satisfying. I can 100% relate to that. And yeah, no, just like it's a really good, really interesting film. IMDb spoils where the story goes just by like glancing at it, and I wish I wouldn't have known that, just because the thing that made them famous doesn't happen until much later into the film, and I feel like the story just kind of naturally leads to it. I feel like you're meant to be surprised by it. So yes, I would totally recommend this film, and I would recommend not looking into it, just kind of going into it as blind as you can. I definitely think it's a worthwhile experience. It's a really well-made film. And lastly is Cursed. This is a 2005 film recommended to me by my brother, which I should have known was a bad sign, because he loves to recommend bad horror films, and man, this one's not great. There are parts that I like about it though. Okay, so the basic premise is there's a werewolf, and our main characters maybe get bit by the werewolf and turn into werewolves and have to deal with werewolf stuff. I think the premise is fine. I think the characters are fine. My main issue is that it's boring and the dialogue is just so bad. So bad. Like, it was hard for me to give a shit because I'm just like, everything you say just sounds dumb. Stop. What are you doing? Like, there's a bully in this film who's just like so stereotypical. Just stop. And like the girl that the main boy likes, she serves no purpose other than to be, hey look, I'm straight. Judy Greer's in this, and she definitely is a standout, especially at the end, but that wasn't enough to like truly save this movie. I didn't put it in the didn't like. There are things that I like about it. It's shot very competently. Like, that's the part that really confuses me. It's just like, this looks like a decent film from this time. The thing that screwed this movie over is Harvey Weinstein. Apparently they were 90% of the way done filming this movie, and then he was like, nah. And then they rewrote the movie and essentially shot the movie like 4 times. And so yeah, that definitely screwed them over, which sucks because they got an interesting cast. I think they could have done a lot with this, but yeah, no, it wasn't great. I don't recommend it. Alrighty, now for today's rankings. First up, we got Buffalo 66 sitting at number 12 in the really like section. And then after that is Monster sitting at number 24, also on the really like section. And then bringing up the rear is Cursed, sitting at number 61 in the meh section. This is out of a total of 72 old movies so far this year.